It is National Day Cup coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday. 10 races, C+3, all races on the turf. And we kick off at 1 o'clock. Paul Lally is here to preview it race by race for you. On the first is a Class 5 of the 1800 metres. Loyal Ambition, he ran 4th first up, but the Master at trial well before running 6th in the first race of the season over the 1600. Turtle again is up in trip. Owner Star, he's having start 53. Starship 80 is up to start 3 for the season. And Joyful Champion is having his first try past 1650 down the bottom, both Mighty Star and Ring Bells. Now, the speed here, Paul, they did try and lead with Loyal Ambition last time. He didn't quite run it out, but with that run under his belt, they might try again. Yeah,
it looks like he's the likely leader of the race. Ring Bells can go forward. Starship 80's fit. He's already had 2 runs this season. Splendid Star ran really well for the new stable last start, so he should get a midfield run. But there's no other real leader, so I think Loyal Ambition's there by default, if anything.
Here is the replay from Happy Valley last time. Paul, you can see him leading for home. This is where we spoke about leading and knocking up. The extra run under his belt, will it be enough to get him in the top 3 this week?
Look, I've included him on a minor line, a very minor line, in the 4th line actually, with Loyal Ambition. Look, Hugh Bowman will jump aboard. It did have Angus Chung rode him on this occasion. So with Hugh aboard, he's got a senior rider. So look at just how he's rated in front. I can see him as the only leader. So as such, he might get a cheap run in front.
Or with a form around Starship 80. Start number 3 this season for him. This has been his best performance so far. Over the 1650 behind Nebula. Is he a horse that is going to appreciate going back to 1800, do you think?
Well, he just had the run start over 1800 and ran last, but he wasn't going as well there. He's definitely sort of at the best form that we've seen him since he's been here to Hong Kong. Whether he, it was a really good run here on the all-weather, and previous to that was on a yielding track. So I just wonder if he wants a bit of give in the ground, what we've seen in those last 2 starts.
Keep an eye on the weather forecast for Sunday. At this stage, it is supposed to be fine. And finally, there's a few to pick out here. Ring Bells Fades, Leather Master 6th, Splendid Star. He's going well in this grade. Superb Daddy's usually running on. And the extra distance does look a bonus for him too, doesn't it?
It does. So look, he runs on. It doesn't matter what happens, Superb Daddy. So look, he's one of the main chances. I think this is probably the main form race to take out of it as well, because Splendid Star, this was his first start for the Douglas White stable. He ran really well. He's got Zach Burton jumping aboard for this particular contest. And the horse went really well at the back end of last season. There was some improvement there, and looks like he's really had a good summer and run well. So I can see him beating Superb Daddy in this.
Saved his career with that win at Happy Valley, and then half went on with it too. So what is the first 4 for the opener?
Well, I'm going to go with the horse that we've just talked about there, Splendid Star on top. Superb Daddy coming out that same race. Joyful Champion, it was a lot better run from him last time. He's drawn nicely in barrier number 1. He ran on over the 1400, so the 18 should be good for him. He should be a decent price. And Loyal Ambition, we talked about there in 4th. I think he'll be there for a long period of the race. 7-2-8-1.
The Pert White combination, not the only time they combine on Sunday, but they're on top for Paul to win race number 1 with Splendid Star. Sprint racing in race number 2 down the 1,000 metre straight at Sha Tin for the Class 4s, and we've got Savvy Delight. His best form at this stage has been at Happy Valley. Happy for All won first up. Ruby Sailing's had 3 starts for 3 seconds. Travel Golf with the blinkers going on for the first time. Sparkling Dolphins, a 4-time course and distance winner. Diamond Flare now with Mark Noonan wears blinkers once again. Tongue tie has been removed. Sweet Diamond wears a tongue tie again, and the Good Deal. Shadow roll off, the blinkers go back on, and at this stage his best form is still down in Class 5. Sparkling Dolphin, he had some competition for the lead last time, Paul, and he didn't run it out. Second up, you think he might be able to get a, I won't say easy lead, because the pace is good and it is 1,000 metres. Yeah,
so look, but I think that he looks the natural leader in the race. Ruby Sailing likes to go, on the pace, but not necessarily lead. Yichong Spirit, the first starter, now he's had 5 trials to get him ready, and he's had a couple of quiet ones, but earlier on in his career he showed a lot of early pace, so I think he's going to go forward. Multi Darling's gone well over the 1,000. Regent Glory's known as a longer race, same as Sweet Diamond, Strive for Glory, the Good Deal. So a lot of these horses are not really 1,000 metre specialists.
Try and find 4 of them that are, and pick a winner in race number 2 with Sparkling Dolphin. This is the race where you can see here, Paul, he's running 3rd at this stage, where he's usually in front. Multi Darling comes through the centre. Ruby Sailing's done everything other than win a race.
Yeah, so I think this is probably the right race for Ruby Sailing. He's had 3 starts, been placed in all 3. I didn't mind the run here of Multi Darling as well. This was over the 1,000 metres. Thought he'd run on strongly, and I think with this run under his belt, Sparkling Dolphin will be a lot fitter, and he should get an easier lead, as you mentioned as well. So I think all those 3 are good chances in this race.
Our next replay features a Travel Golf. This race is over at Happy Valley. He runs 3rd here. The thing we don't know about him is one of these horses that you mentioned, that they're not really 1,000-metre horses. He's never even competed at the trip.
That's what I mean. So there's a big unknown. But the way he races, you'd think at 1,200 plus looks the right distance for him. He's by Holy Roman Emperor, and of course we know those as sort of a stayers as such. So look, I don't know what to do with him. I left him out. I did know what to do with him. I left him out.
Wait for 1,200?
Yeah.
OK, that is Travel Golf. Next up, we've got some trial form around Savvy Delight. He's going to have to carry 135 pounds. He has won over the 1,000 on a good to yielding surface. That was at Happy Valley. He's 4-zip at Sha Tin. Yeah,
4-zip having to carry 135 pounds put me off immediately with him. Really bad course and distance record. Look, the 1,000's okay, but it's around the turning Happy Valley track. So, look, I didn't entertain him because of that.
And that is seizing the moment, winning that trial. He raced on Wednesday night. So that's Savvy Delight. Alexi Bedell and John Size, the combination there. Yichong Spirit's a first starter. Danny Shum trains 5 trials. He's had 2 this prep. And he runs second here to Right Honourable, who was rolled as favourite on Wednesday night.
That's what I said. Look, he showed a bit of early pace here. And look, his grass trials have been pretty good, I thought, Yichong Spirit. This is obviously on the all-weather. I thought he's had the 5 trials to get him ready. He's drawn 1, so he's going to have to come across. But I think he can come across. I mean, these 2 horses went clear, and Right Honourable was a beaten favourite at Happy Valley. But down the straight 1,000, I'd give him a bit of a chance. I don't think this is an overly strong race.
OK, first starter is going to figure somewhere in the first 4 whereabouts.
And for second, actually, I'm going to put him in behind Ruby Sailing. I think this is Ruby Sailing's race to win, though. The horses look really good coming into this contest. The 3 runs have all been good. Yichong Spirit in there for second with those 5 trials under his belt. And the 2 horses we saw coming out of that replay, Sparkling Dolphin, who I think will be fitter for that run and should get an easier lead. And Multi Darling really caught the eye, finishing off strongly as well. 3, 6, 7 and 10.
And Ruby set sailing in race number 2 at a post time of 1:30. We go Class 5, Class 4 and now Class 3 for race number 3. And we've got this race over the 1,200 metres with Beauty Crescent having a wider draw following that first up 3rd behind Supreme Lucky. Armour Eagle, 2 starts, 2 placings, second up. Saquon's a 3-time course and distance winner. Windicator Family's a first starter, won the listed Southland Guineas. It's only a stone's throw from Antarctica, where it's run. Call Me Dandy, both wins have been course and distance. Galaxy Patch is having his first start. He was a winner over 1,100 at Morfettville prior to arriving. Northern Beaches, he's won a trial, and Joyful Friendship is back in trip from his last assignment from the 14 to the 1,200 metres. Few first starters here, Paul. Windicator Family hasn't shown much pace. Saquon, we know, goes forward. Naboo Legend's been forward in his trials. Northern Beaches are stuck out there 3 wide.
Well, look, he's going to fight with California Veins for that position. So whoever gets out first is going to get into that position. So it's just you'll know after 100 metres, I think, where your fate is with those 2. Call Me Dandy, whatever happens, will get a nice run along with Armour Eagle. Galaxy Patch has been slow away in both his trials here in Hong Kong, but finished off really strongly. Beauty Crescent should go back from barrier 9.
We might be able to find out more about those tactics on Beauty Crescent right now. Nick spoke to his jockey earlier today, Andrea Etzany.
Andrea, Beauty Crescent is a ride you've got for Tony Cruz coming up on Sunday afternoon. Just the one ride on him so far, but last time out it was an encouraging one.
It was. He's very lightly raced. That was on his 3rd run in Hong Kong, and it was a very promising run. He's an improving horse. And on the back of his last run, you think he'd be competitive on Sunday.
He certainly didn't shirk the issue, did he? He ran on really strongly to hit the line powerfully, suggesting that there might be a good bit more still to come.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, he's only had 3 runs here in Hong Kong, and his last run was very promising, looking like that he's definitely ready to hopefully win at some stage. But he wasn't beaten very far, and I think that race would have brought him on plenty, and hopefully on Sunday he'll be very competitive, I think.
I know you're probably not in the position to sort of make the comparison, given that you didn't ride him without blinkers, but he did have those blinkers on last time. Was Tony's feeling sort of post-race that they have certainly brought about some improvement?
Yeah, I think he just needs. It's a sort of horse that needs racing. I think the more racing, the better. And the blinkers definitely helped a little bit that day. But he's not like he's not ungenuine or anything. He just, like I said, is relatively young, and I think the more experience for him, the better.
Yeah, I think both his wins in Europe, he had the blinkers on, so certainly bodes well. From your knowledge thus far here at Sha Tin, 1,200 metres, gate 9, does that make things any more complicated than it should?
A little bit. I did think he's a sort of horse that needs to find his feet early on. I don't think he's a sort of horse you can sort of press him too much. And like you saw the last day, he actually finished quite well. So hopefully from that draw, we'll be able to slot in sort of midfield and hopefully we'll finish the way to the last day.
That is Andre Radzani, re Beauty Crescent. The opposition, though, Paul, includes Armour Eagle. I'm more used to seeing him lately on a Wednesday night at Happy Valley. He has been to Sha Tin 7 times for 3 placings, and he's a pretty consistent horse. Yeah,
look, he doesn't mind Sha Tin. His wins have been at Happy Valley, but he still can run quite well here at Sha Tin. So from barrier number 2, he's going to get a nice run in this race. He was right on the cusp for me. He didn't just make it in the end, but he is going well.
Harry Bentley on board from barrier number 2. Harry riding M Unicorn to victory on Wednesday night. Off to Chongfa we go now. Naboo Legend finishes 2nd in this trial. And it's good form because the horse that beats him is Sparkling Knight, who was a winner last weekend at Sha Tin.
Yeah, won well, didn't he? This was a 1,000-metre trial. Again, look, it was more of a jump out. You can see them not really going that fast in this particular contest. He'll need luck from barrier number 10, but with Zach Purton aboard, as long as he can get to that position outside the leader, of course, Northern Beaches, California Veins will all be vying for it as well.
Galaxy Patch, he's had the 2 trials. This is the 2nd of them. It was a very good finish. We're shaken up and he did respond. His starts haven't been brilliant, though.
No, he's been a slow way in both of them, and that's why he's sort of been at the back. The smaller field will help him, being coming here. It's as long as he can sort of just jump with them, I think you'll see a really good run from this horse. And look, I just really like his turn of foot. I mean, he was pushed out compared to the others, but he got up and beat Bundle of Charm right on the post there.
And Yellowfin's wider out, so some good form out of that trial already. Are you with a first starter or one of the race brigade?
I'm going to take a chance with Galaxy Patch. Look, he did win on debut at Morphettville before he got here, and he won over 1,100, so the 1,200 should be really good for him fresh. He's on top. Call Me Dandy's been racing some pretty good races. He won 2 starts ago. Then we saw them with that 4th behind Supreme Lucky. Beauty Crescent comes out of that same race as well. And then California Veins. If he can get across before the others, which I think he can, he'll get his opportunity. 7-5-1-8.
And if you're a treble punter, race number 3 is the first leg of the opening treble. Race number 4 has one of the most interesting runners all day going around in it. We'll hear from that horse's jockey shortly, but it's a class 4 over the 1,200 metres. Ladies' choice looking for the hat-trick. Wide draw, though, and £135. Nishikado's on the class drop. Pins Prince, both wins have been course and distance. Beauty Unity is on debut. He's had 4 trials, 3 this prep. The horse in question is Ka Ying Chia. 6 trials, 3 this season, and he has won all of them. Superwise Dragon. We haven't seen him since January when finishing 8th behind Daring Pursuit. 3 trials for him. Simply Maverick raced wide on debut. Bold Prince, his win was in class 5, and Noble One jumps up from the 1,000 to the 1,200 metres. He's led up in the trials, Paul Ka Ying Chia. He's looked very good, and you expect they'll just do the same on race day.
I think they will. I think they can go forward. He's shown really good gate speed. This horse, Simply Maverick, was a query because he's gone back on race day, but he did go forward and lead in a recent trial. So I wonder if he'll go forward there. What Noble One doesn't like to lead, Pins Prince doesn't like to lead, Side Hero we know doesn't like to lead. So if it doesn't come from Ka Ying Chia, I don't know where the lead's going to come from. So he might get it a little bit easier in front.
Well, the man tasked with getting him home on debut has been on board in the trials. Here's Nick with Keithy Young.
Keith Young, Ka Ying Chia is a very interesting runner on this weekend's card. You're the man that's charged with riding him. He's a newcomer for Pierre Rung, but talk me through his trials because they've looked very impressive, Keith.
It did. I started trial him last season, just end of last season, and he was still a little bit heavy and awkward at the turn. And so we decided to give him a summer break and take him back again and do it all again beginning of the season. and he seems to respond to PS training very well. And every time he trialed this season, he has improved.
His 3 trials this season have all been with the cheek pieces on as well. I mean, do you feel, given that you're the only man that has trialled him, that they really have brought about some nice improvement?
Yes, because he's a very quiet horse. He's laid back, and I think the cheek piece really helps him to concentrate.
His second last trial, went back and had a look at it. He made sort of most of the running there, went forward. So he's got some really good sort of tactical early speed, hasn't he, this guy?
He did. He's got the ability. He's got the speed, and because like he's always laid back, so we try to reel him a bit more forward, so just to keep him interested.
Is the hope that maybe like race day sort of sparks him up a bit if he is quite a laid back horse?
Yes, I think we're gonna use the similar tactics.
Nice to get on a horse like him, Keith, I suppose. You know, obviously we don't know too much about him, but he does look rather exciting, doesn't he? Really, on what he's done at the trials.
Oh yes, I've been working with him since he came to Hong Kong, and he's always given me these good feelings about him. And as a jockey, you always need a good horse to keep their career going.
Certainly do. It's nice to have that association, I suppose, isn't it, with them in the mornings? I mean, it's easy for a jockey just to get on one in the afternoon or the evening, but the fact that you've had a bit to do with the horse must be quite special from your point of view as well.
Yes, and like when I was really appreciated the owner and Pierre, and because of course they knew they have a good horse, and still like willing to give support to me and just keep me on him. So I try my best and do whatever I can.
He's glued his bum to the seat to make sure no one else can get on board Kaying Cheer, has Keith. As we move on, Paul, to Side Hero. Another one we're used to seeing on a Wednesday night at Happy Valley, but Luke Curry, David Hayes, good draw barrier number 1, and got a bit of a squeeze up in the straight in this race.
Yeah, he was a little bit unlucky actually in this contest. Now, he is a course and distance winner, so he can do it at Sha Tin. And you can see him, once he got into the clear, I thought he finished off really strongly. So it wasn't a bad run from him. I'm definitely going to include him.
Good report for Side Hero. This horse you've had in last season too, Young Life Forever. He runs 3rd up at Chung Fa at the trials. Last start winner over to Gepi, but the form at this stage has been at Happy Valley. Can he transfer into what looks a reasonably strong Class 4?
No, I don't think he can with Young Life Forever. I'm going to wait till he gets back to Happy Valley for him. He's 4-zip here at Sha Tin. I think he's an out-and-out Happy Valley horse. So with this run under his belt, I think we'll see him at Happy Valley reasonably quickly, though.
Okay, we'll just wait for a Wednesday night appearance for Young Life Forever, but 1 for 1 Kaying Cheer.
Yeah, I think he can. I think Keith was speaking quite glowingly with that horse, and I think he can win fresh up. Kaying Cheer. It's not an overly strong race. Side Hero, we saw Noble 1. Now he comes in with a light weight. He's actually eligible for Class 5, but he's going to race here at the bottom of Class 4. And Ladies' Choice has to carry the big weight, but is in form. Did win 2 races at the back end of last season. 7-2-12-1.
That is race number 4, and the 4th race is the first leg of the Triple Trio. Race number 5 is next for our preview, and the 5th race over the 1200 metres is a Class 3, with Dragon's Luck being a 3-time course and distance winner. Maniac has placed 2 from 3 course and distance. California Civil failed on the all-weather last time. Frentac comes here having raced overseas. He won over 1600 at Goodwood and 1628 metres at Windsor. Compassion Spirits won 4 times over the 1200, but all over at Happy Valley. Fast Victory, he had the same name in Australia when trained by Ben and JD Hayes. He won over 1200 metres at Ararat. Super Winners looking for the hat-trick, and Super Highway has had 2 trials prior to his seasonal debut. With Dragon's Luck, Paul leading. He does have to carry the 134.
Yeah, look, he's changed of jockey. Zach Purton will jump aboard him. He's drawn nicely in 2. That's the key, though. He's drawn with that good draw. Look, when he's won all his races, he's led by himself. So I think he's going to try and do the same thing here. Super Winner hasn't led in his last couple when winning. Magniac can go forward, and Pulsar Strider has won, but they've been on has led, but they've been on wet tracks.
They have, and that is Pulsar Strider. But this is Dragon's Luck, Paul. As you said, Zach Purton jumps aboard. There he is, 4th turning for home in this race. Super Fortune currently the leader. He's following a Lucky Encounter through there on the rail. He's never won with more than 130 pounds, so he's going to have to try and turn that around this week.
Yeah, he is. That's one of the things. But you can see him, he couldn't get his way into the clear, and when he did, he finished off really nicely. I think this is a strong form race of Lucky Encounter, quite a progressive horse, and also Joyful Hunter in it as well. So, look, I think he'll lead this time, and if he does, I think he'll be tough to run down.
Take luck out of the equation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
On to our next couple of horses, which is Pulsar Strider 6th. He was in good form, Pulsar Strider, stringing 2 together, then a third. He has placed second up in the past, but as you said, the rain-affected tracks had been helping him. And would you prefer Compassion Spirit over at Happy Valley?
I would, but look, I'm not. I thought it was a good run here at Sha Tin. Once he sort of got held up, and once he got into the clear, he came home really nicely. So, look, I'm going to include him because I don't think I think he's going to get the race run to suit this horse, and what I think is quite a good strong form race as well. And a couple more strides, he would have won that.
Supreme Lucky's the horse that beats him, and Call Me Dandy favoured to run fourth, and he's a chance in a later race. Next up is Super Winner. Well, Dennis Ships just turned this bloke, hasn't turned him around because he's never been hopeless, but he's stringing them together now.
Yeah, well, he did string a couple together last season as well. He won over 1,200 on the yielding track, then the 1,400 metres here on the good track. That was both in Class 4. He's going to come in with a featherweight, but now he's going to do it at the bottom of Class 3. I think this is quite a strong race, but look, he's a horse in form at the moment, and if he holds his form, then he's definitely a chance once again, but he's just got to prove it in this higher grade now.
It's hard to believe he was that horse that used to race with the head up and carry on, isn't it?
He's definitely. Dennis has done a good job with the horse.
He's matured.
Yes, exactly.
And Dennis has certainly got him flying at the moment. And finally, this horse is a very honest horse, Paul, Module Construction. He's had the 7 starts, 1 win, 6 placings. He's had the 2 trials. This is the third behind Top T. He's just ridden up a little bit late in this.
Never finished further back than third, this horse. His last start was behind Helios Express, and he was close up behind him, and he looks a really promising horse. Look, I think this horse is very honest. He's Vincent Ho aboard, and he always runs a good race for you. As I said, he's never finished further back than third in those 7 career starts. He was doing it easy enough on the line, I thought there. So I'm going to include him.
OK, so have you got him in the top 3 to continue that record?
I have, yeah, I have. I've got him in for second, actually, Module Construction. But I think Dragon's Luck can lead all the way here, so he's on top to beat Module Construction. Good run from Compassion Spirit. Now, Magnac will need some luck from a wide draw, well, an awkward draw in barrier number 8. But if he gets that, he's been placed a couple of times here. 1, 8, 6 and 2.
That is the preview for race number 5, the first leg of Sunday's 6 Up. Race number 6, a race of a few hopes. This one, we'll find out who Paul likes in just a moment. Barriers at the 1600. It's Class 4. And Super Hong Kong now with Manfred Mann. Precise Express with the hood going back on and the tongue tie coming off. Serangoon has cheek pieces on for the first time. Snow a Lot was unlucky last time at Happy Valley. Cheng Cheng Glory, cheek pieces off and the blinkers on for the first time. We've got Horse of Good Luck. He's wearing blinkers for the first time. Aestheticism's on a 7-day backup. And Prosecco has had a visor re-added. Paul, as we have a look at the speed map, and Horse of Good Luck, well, he led up in the trial and that was 1700.
It was, wasn't it? Look, there's no leader in this race at all. So I just wonder if he's going to try and go forward and lead, change the tactics a bit. The other possibility is Master Hero, because he has led in the past as well, and he's got an apprentice claim. Prosecco likes to go forward, looking cool. Thought Cheng Cheng Glory up in grade, up in distance to 1600. Blinkers on the first time can be positive. Smiling Collector from an inside draw. Lucky Eternity had every chance last time, but he should get every chance once again.
Which leads us in perfectly to the run of Lucky Eternity. But he's not the only one in this race, Paul. Looking Cool runs 9th, President's Choice 6th, Serangoon is back 11th, and Smiling Collector. What did you make of his run? Because he had raced well course and distance, but he fades for 8th. Yeah,
it was a bit disappointing here, but maybe with this run now under his belt, he can improve a little bit. But look, President's Choice, you can see him running down the outside there. He ran on nicely enough as well. It wasn't a bad. But Lucky Eternity, I thought he had every chance, but he sort of came through. He's been a consistent horse, so he's a hard horse to leave out.
Pakistan Friend, who beats him, has been in really good form at the back end of last season, and that win also. Our second replay features Aestheticism. This was just last week. He ran 5th and does look to be a horse, Paul, that is on the improve.
Yeah, and he's up to 1,600 metres. This was a 1,400 metre contest as well, and he never gave it away at all. I thought He finished off the race strongly. He was in that photo for fourth. He ended up actually finishing fifth in the in this contest. So he's a fit horse. Pyong doesn't mind running his horses, and he's backing him up here. So look, I'm going to include him. Just the way he finished off, I thought 1600 looks ideal at Sha Tin.
Barrier number 14 for him, Vincent Ho on board. We've got some trial form from Happy Valley. This is Horse of Good Luck, who's had one start, and that was way back in May when finishing last behind Simple Hedge. His starts have been an issue in some of the trials and made a real mess of them. Not this morning, however.
No, look, I toyed whether to put him in or not, but I looked at this trial, and he beat Gold Sterling, who ran last at his start recently as well, and just managed to hang on there. So in the end, I left him out, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's an improved run from him.
Okay, that is Horse of Good Luck, but one horse that has caught your eye, certainly in track work, is that of Cheng Cheng Glory.
Yeah, look, I like the fact he's going up to 1600 metres. It was a poor first up run, but he'll come on for that. He's got blinkers on for the first time. He's bred for 1600 metres. His dam, as Sire, was an out-and-out miler in America, so the 1600 shouldn't be a problem.
So it's race 6, number 7 for you.
Well, hopefully we'll get a big price for him. I think we will, because he hasn't got very good form at the moment. So I'm going to make him the long shot, Cheng Cheng Glory. Now, he is a winner here in Hong Kong. He won on debut as a Griffin, so we know he's capable. Lucky Eternity in there for second. Aestheticism, I'm going to put him in there for third. Was a better run. I'll give Smiling Collector another chance, because he should get every opportunity from barrier 1. He's just a bit of a quirky horse these days. 7, 9, 12 and 5.
Harry Bentley riding for Francis Loy for Paul to win with Cheng Cheng Glory in race number 6. Good field in race number 7, headlined by last season's Classic Cup winner in Super Sunny Singh, and he is going to be carrying £132 for Vincent Ho and Chris So. Butterfield, his wins have all been 1800 metres plus. Having Aguila's first up. Beauty Live has cheek pieces going on for the first time, all for St Paul's. He's won twice at this meeting in recent seasons. The best peaches out of Group 3 company. Turin Red Sun placed a second up, and Prime Minister an extra 200 metres following that 5th behind the resuming the golden scenery. As we see the speed here, Paul, and all for St Paul's, and meaningful start on the pace. Super Sunny Singh not too far away.
Yeah, I think also for St Paul's can control this race. He looks the only real leader in the race. Meaningful start coming behind. But I still think they'll go a good pace, because he likes to roll along in front, all for St Paul's. Turin Red Sun, Butterfield, Heaven Aguila, Prime Minister, they all get back, along with Spirit Express and Beauty Live. So I think he'll lead.
He's certainly going to be in the market, if not the favourite. Super Sunny Singh is his name. His trainer's Chris So, and here he is with Nick.
Chris So, Super Sunny Singh is one of your runners this week. And talk to me about his comeback, Chris, because that was a really pleasing performance.
Well, the last run is the first time he came back for this season. After he ran third, we all happy at the team, and that's why last year, after the Classic Club, we give him a break. I think it's the right timing to give him a break, because last year he got 4 wins, 8 start, and he did a great job in the Classic Cup. So that's why we decided give him a break and bring him back this season.
I guess, Chris, that's just a case of knowing your horse, isn't it, really? I mean, it might well be a decision that you'll look back on quite fondly, given that it might just, give the horse a bit more longevity. Was that always the thinking to give him that break?
Well, it depends on, because last year, he did a good job. So, we decide, we speak to the owner, and they agree with that also. So, that's why we give him a break, and then, bring him back this season. And I think, it seems like, even the first run after, is a bit short, but he still, finished very strong. So, I think, this time maybe put him in the right sport, 16. I think, he ran a good race. Yeah. Was
that always the plan to go up and trip with him after starting off at 14?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, because first season, he seems like last year we proven, he's a miler. But when the season starts, we give him a long break. When the first run, this season maybe give him a bit short. So we start at 14.
Going forward, I mean, obviously, given his rating, he's got to sort of mix it with the big boys, hasn't he?
Yeah, and yeah, that's the plan, because that's everything is just natural because we didn't race him in the last season after the Derby, and the rating is 94. Actually, we decided we give him a break, and we can't do anything much. So, that's the plan, maybe give him a break and then, try to put him in a big race, some major race this season. So, we follow the plan.
And I guess with your horse, Chris, as well, I mean, there are horses here, obviously some very good ones. We'll start at the very top, the likes of Golden 60. He's not getting any younger. You've got a horse that is clearly still progressing. So it could be a really exciting season ahead for you in this horse.
I hope so. I really hope so. So far, he's a good horse in my stable. So, I hope, he get a good result for the stable and for the owner.
Chris, so they're on Super Sunny Sing. The opposition includes 3 that raced at Happy Valley last time, and the best of them here is Spirited Express. He ends up running 4th. Butterfield has no real second up form. Insurance Red Sun ends up back 10th here. This was over the 1650 behind Helene Feeling. He has won course and distance during Red Sun, and he has placed second up. But we'll focus on Spirited Express, Paul. His trial was really good leading into this. He started at 12-1, but he was Brown Lamped and came in from much bigger odds, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And look, he really hit the line strongly too. He finished just behind the place getters in 5th or 4th, I think he got in the end. He got 4th. Look, his win was of 86. He's higher in the ratings at 92 at the moment. But the way he finished off here, it shows he's capable.
Helene Feeling winning that race. They've got some big ambitions for him. All for St Paul's. Trial winner up at Chung Fa, 5-time winner course and distance, and 2-time winner at this meeting.
Yeah, exactly. So look, if he gets his own way in front, we know he's a hard horse to get past. That win at the back when he won fresh last season was off an 86 rating, so he's not too much higher at 88 here in this particular contest. So look, if they leave him alone in front, we know he's a hard horse to get past, as I said. So he's got the good fresh record. I'm definitely going to include him. I think he's one of the main dangers.
Matthew Chadwick, 7 rides on the horse for 2 wins also, so he gets on very well with him. Can they beat Super Sunny Sing?
I've got him on top. I think second up, 1,600 metres looks really ideal for this. I didn't mind him fresh up as well, actually, but he did run well there for 3rd. All for St Paul's, I think, is the danger, though, from front if they leave him alone. Spirit Express in there for 3rd. I'm going to put the Best Peach in as well. Now, he ran 2nd in a Group 3 last start, got back, ran on really strongly behind Tuchel. So that's a really good form race he's coming off. He's going to find this a lot easier. 1-7-2-8.
As easy as race 7. Number 1, Super Sunny Sing for Paul in the 7th. Feature race is race number 8, the National Day Cup. It's a Group 3 over the 1,000 metres. Interesting little race coming up here with Sight Success, never missing a top 2 over the 1,000 metres. Stoltz looking for 3 in a row. He's resuming for the season. Kerpenny, a Class 2 winner last time. Adios coming back from the 1,200 to the 1,000. And then we've got Rewarding Together with his great second up record, and We Are Hero making his group racing debut. Now the speed here, Paul Kerpenny led last time. WizKid wasn't too far from him, couldn't run him down, but they have Stoltz in the mix this week.
Yeah, exactly. So Stoltz, I think, will just be stalking the 2 of them. Sight Success and Adios will probably come up in the next line. We Are Hero gets back, normally over 1,000, Rewarding Together as well, yet to win here at Sha Tin. So they're probably going to be towards the back, but it's only a small field, so everyone will get their chance.
Stoltz is certainly going to be in the market for it. Zach Purton has a good record on the horse, and Zach spoke to Nick.
Zach Stoltz is your ride in the feature this weekend, the National Day Cup, a horse that you know extremely well. I know you haven't managed to trial him because he's been up at Chung Fa, but you have ridden him in track work. How is the horse feeling?
He feels really good. He's moving well, he's going good, he seems nice and bright, so yeah, we're hoping for a forward run.
On what we know of the horse, of what you know of the horse, this looks like an ideal opportunity to try and snag a decent prize, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. There's nothing outstanding in the race. We know all the horses pretty well, and you know, he races well fresh. He's won at the track and distance. That always helps. Francis is going good, so.
He certainly is. That win, course and distance, a couple of starts ago. Just talk me through that once again, because that was he showed a great attitude that he sort of found off the front, didn't he?
Yeah, that's been you know, one of his attributes really. He gets out, he rolls along, he likes it when the speed is on during the running of a race there at Happy Valley, and I think that probably suits the horses up the straight as well, where the pressure's on all the way and he can absorb that, handle that, and you know, he did a good job. So I think he's in nice shape. It's just a question of whether, he's up to this class, but we're going to find out.
I guess a light campaign last season as well has probably lended to the fact that as a 6-year-old he might still have a bit more to give. Would that be fair?
Yeah, it wasn't by design. He had a bit of a setback, so he needed some time off and then come back as a fresh horse towards the end of the season. And, he's still relatively fresh now, so hopefully that helps him.
That is Zach Purton there on Stoltz. Now, sight success, Paul. We're going back to last season. This is the Sha Tin Vase. A field of very, very good horses. He ends up in this race finishing 5th. Of course, he had a stint in Dubai last season also. Resuming with 135 pounds, that's 11 more than Stoltz.
Yeah, that's just the query I had with him, because he carried light weights in these particular races. Look, his fresh record's not too bad, but look, historically horses with lighter weights have performed better in this race, and the 135 just worries me fresh up. I mean, John Sizer's horses haven't started firing yet. It's not going to take long till they do, but they haven't at this stage.
That was sight success. Casper Found's horses, they have been firing up early in the season. Kirpeny wins this race. You couldn't have had Wizkid on his trial up at Chung Fa, but he got to race day and switched on. And We Are Hero, the 3rd of the 5 out of this race, which are running in the feature on Sunday.
Yeah, look, they're both horses now have got runs under their belt, so they're going to come in to this race. Obviously race fit. Both these two horses in particular are real speedsters, aren't they? You can see them. Kirpeny just managed to hang on, but I think both these two are really good chances. I mean, Kirpeny had the apprentice claim there. Wizkid's obviously there's a big turnaround now without the apprentice. You can see that for yourself. And We Are Hero. So Kirpeny is a lot better off in the weights, but he's a speedy horse.
Here's Vincent Ho jumps aboard for this Group 3 race. Silas Wong riding him to victory in that replay. Final one we need to look at is also over the 1,200 metres, rewarding together 4th. Adios runs 3rd. This was Victor, the winner, leading up with his lightweight and getting a really good run in front for Karis Teaton. Now, Adios has placed over the 1,000. Rewarding together's had just the one look down the straight. He's placed 2. But his second up record, 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 placings. Yeah,
really good second up record for him. But look, he's more of a Happy Valley horse, isn't he? That's where all his wins have been with Rewarding Together. Look, he can run a placing down the straight, but I don't know if you'll trouble the actual, these class horses that are out and out 1,000 metre Sha Tin horses. That just worries me a bit.
Are you with Stoltz or one of the others?
No, I think this is Stoltz, actually. I think Stoltz's race to lose here. He looks really well placed. I think he's up to this class. Adios, he's only been raced once over the 1,000 and was placed, so we know that he is capable. 2 starts in total. Kirpeny in there for 3rd and Wizkid for 4th. I know there's that weight turnaround, but they're both in good form at the moment. They both had a run under their belts. So that's why I put them just ahead of a horse like Sight Success, who does have to come in fresh. 2, 4, 3, 6.
And start time for the Group 3 feature, race number 8, the National Day Cup, is at 20 minutes to 5 o'clock. We look now at race number 9, and this race is over the 1,400 metres and a Class 4 event. Karma's up in trip from the 1,000 metres first up. Beato a wide draw again. Perfetto, the blinkers off, the visor on for the first time. Divine Era is a 3-time course and distance winner. Both Golden Bull and Holy Lake jump up in trip. Talent Supremos now with Cody Moe. Crossover noseband off. Tongue tie has been added. Captain Hurricanes now with Mark Newnham. Hood and visor off. Tongue tie goes on. Bei Choi is now with Dennis Ship, who's taken off the cheek pieces. Speed here, Paul, from Bei Choi and Ariel, both noted go-forward horses.
Yeah, so they should set up a really nice, good pace in this race. So every horse, I think, is going to get their opportunity. Lucky Planet, Ever Blessing, he had every chance last time, but he should get every chance once again from a good draw. Divine Era, likewise, so awesome. Perfetto midfield, he ran a couple of good races last season. Karma back to 1,400 metres, looks ideal for him. Beato gets back, but all these horses will get their chance. Golden Bull went back last time as well. He's drawn 13. I think he'll go back again.
Hugh Bowman rides him, but Brenton Abdullah is the man first up. He spoke to Nick about Ever Blessing.
Brenton, Ever Blessing, one of your rides on Sunday. Really nice performance on seasonal reappearance. He seemed to do a decent job behind a few informed horses.
Yeah, he's a nice moving horse. I thought he raced well on his first run back. I've got no doubt 6 furlongs was short of his best, so 1400 should suit, and I've got no doubt even when he gets to a mile, he'll be even better. But he's drawn well again. He'll bounce, he'll put himself somewhere on the speed, and like I said, he's a lovely moving horse, so I've got no doubt he's only going to keep progressing as the races get a little bit longer.
I sense there from what you've said that 14 could certainly bring out a bit more improvement in him. Was that sort of echoed by Ricky sort of going into this race?
I think so, and even the other day, like, we're positive with him, and then obviously Angus's horse sort of took the running up sort of mid-race, but I felt like at the 1200 I was just at my top of fraction. So I think 1400 will suit him, and like I said, he's still learning, still progressive, and Ricky's horses seem to be racing well.
They certainly are racing well. The horses that he's raced around are also racing well. Obviously, Super Winners won again. M Unicorn was the winner on Wednesday night. He ran second, so the form certainly looks strong.
Yeah, it does. So like I said, I'm going there on Sunday, expecting him to race really well.
Nice draw. He had one last time, gets 3 this time. We won't sort of split hairs over a couple of stalls, will we?
No. If I keep getting low draws like that, I won't complain.
And just with him, I mean, you mentioned 14. Does he get a little bit further, do you think, going forward? I mean, he's still lightly raced. I guess he's untapped to this point.
Yeah, I think so. Everything to do with his track work and that, he just loves to relax, and he's got a lovely big action on him. So I'd say 14 mile definitely, and we'll reassess after that.
Brenton Abdallah on Ever Blessing. One horse that does love the 1400 metres, Paul, is Divine Era. This is his last start. He's near enough to last, turning for home here. Ariel fades to run 8th. He might be on the speed battle up with Bei Choi. So Awesome's becoming very hard to catch. Thus, he won that one race last season. And Divine Era, as we mentioned, loves the trip.
He does. Look, I'm going to include Divine Era because I thought it was a really nice run from him. Once he got into the clear, he finished off strongly. He's going to be slightly closer in the run here over the 1400 metres. And look, he's going well at the moment. So, look, he's definitely goes in for me.
That funny racing style with the neck arch, Divine Era. Now, Perfetto's had 2 trials. This is the second of them at Happy Valley. He ends up running 4th, but he showed good improvement between the first 2 trials. He was just holding his spot down the straight at Sha Tin, but under a good hold here.
Really nice trial from this horse. Zach Purton aboard as well, so plenty of positives there around him. Now, he did run really well last season, and Zach did win on him, and that was up to a mile. So I just wonder, he was placed, minor placing fresh up last time. I'm sort of going to wait till he gets up to a mile. He might do it this weekend, but I thought a mile would be better for him.
Beato, Paul, his trials haven't been terrific. They've been on the all-weather. Here's his work on the all-weather, but his last start was really good.
It was, wasn't it? He was a bit unlucky last time. He's going to get the pace run to suit. So, look, we've seen Tony Cruz's horses in form at the moment. He gets the apprentice claim too, which is going to help him. He did have that last time, but Angus is riding really well at the moment.
He is. He's had a very good off-season, has Angus, and kicked the season off with plenty of wins, and he's on top for another one here. Yeah,
we'll see how he goes here over the 1200. I think in time he's going to need further, but I wouldn't be surprised with a fresh up run. He runs well. Ever Blessing, we heard from Brenton there. Look, this horse had every chance last time, but up to 1400 metres looks good for him at this stage of his campaign. Karma, another one stepping up to 1400. He raced over 1,000 on that good to yielding last time. That wasn't his go. His win has been over 1400. And Divine Era, we saw that replay there. He hit the line strongly. 2, 9, 1 and 5.
And Paul's play each way, win and place on Beato in the second last. Race number 10, final race, lines up as follows over the 1400 metres and a Class 3. Majestic colour on the class drop, blinkers off, visor goes back on. Storm Legends, a 2-time course and distance winner and has new colours on too from when we last saw him in the yellow and brown. Outgate carries 11 pounds less than his first up 5th. Golden Artie's had 2 trials with a good draw. Circuit Mighty's placed his last 3 this grade. Blue Marlin's a 2-time winner over the 1400 metres. I Can wears a hood for the first time on the back of 3 trials. And Let's Do It and Lucky Gold round out race number 10. We have a look at the speed map here, Paul. Majestic colour, drawn barrier number 5. Lucky Gold's out wide, and Circuit Mighty and Outgate both have good gate speed. Yeah, all those 3 that you mentioned, and Lucky Gold as well. Look, he went back over 1200, but he always goes forward over the 1400. So if he does go forward, then he might be caught wide. So there is the option for him in particular to go back. But Majestic colour, he does like to go forward from barrier 5. I think they'll be positive with him. Hyper Dragon Ball appears in our first replay. Barrier number 12 in this race too. You can see him down there on the inside. Beauty Fit ends up running at 10th. Hasn't got a bad record second up. Beauty Fit He's had 4 starts for a couple of placings, but Hyper Dragon Ball just coming across heels there, Paul.
Yeah, look, I thought it was a good run here from Hyper Dragon Ball. He drew wide in this race. Unfortunately, he's drawn wide once again, so he'll just need a little bit of luck. But look, he's got Zach Purton aboard, and I just really like the way he finished off this race. I thought it was a very good run from him. So with this run under his belt, I think he's going to go pretty close to winning this.
That's Lightning Bolt in the back half of the field, who won at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Second replay features Circuit Mighty and Outgate here. Circuit Mighty had struggled in this grade. He'd had 13 starts, hadn't run in the top 3 until the last 10 starts and hadn't run in the top 3. Now he's had 13 starts and run 3/3 in this grade.
I've got him in for third, actually. Look, yeah, he just struggles a little bit to win at this grade, but he's a very honest horse, and he's run really well here once again and fought on really strongly. It's quite a good form race, this one as well, because the winner's been winning them in a row. So, look, I thought it was a good run from him, and I've included him, as I said.
It's a good report for Circuit Mighty. What about the fish? Blue Marlin loves the 1400 metres. The unknown thing about him is this class. He hasn't raced over Class 3 company before. 6 starts, 2 wins, 2 placings, course and distance though.
There was a bit of rain around this day. It was a good to yielding track, and I don't know how much that helped him. But from barrier number 2, he is going to get a good run. I didn't want to completely leave him out because I thought, you know, he's obviously going well at the moment. Is he capable in this grade? We'll find out on Sunday. So, look, he goes in on a minor line for me. But it was a nice enough win for him.
Harry Bentley and Douglas White, the combination. He beat Divine Era, who we see in an earlier race. And this horse, Paul, Golden Artie. He runs third in this trial. He's got a good draw of barrier number 1. Andrea Ratzani and Ricky Yu, the combination. The 2 horses that finish in front of him are Kaying Cheer, who makes his debut earlier on, and California Spangle.
Nice enough trial, but look, his form really tapered off at the back end of last season with Golden Artie. He hasn't won fresh up in the past as well. So those are the little concerns I had with him. I was with him probably all those starts last time after he did win, and the trial was good enough, but I'm just a little bit concerned, you know, with that fresh up record. So I just wanted to watch him in this.
OK, so we'll watch on Golden Artie from Paul. But who do you like in the final race of the day? I
like Hyper Dragon Ball. I thought with that run under his belt, it was a really good run from him. He just got to overcome a wide draw, so he's on top. Got to put Majestic Colour in it. Now, Alex Lai rode him last time in Class 2. He's dropped now down to Class 3 with Hugh Bowman board from a low draw. So expect a lot better run from him. Majestic Colour, Circuit Mighty's been consistent, and Blue Marlin, a last start winner. 2, 1, 7 and 8.
That is race number 10. All races on the turf. C+3. The first race is at 1 o'clock for National Day this Sunday at Sha Tin.